Hello, cats and kittens! I'm going to be checking the stream real quick, make sure we're not lagging. Right before we, get going. Alright, let's see how it sounds. Okay, I can hear myself good. Alright. Hello, cats and kittens. Mama Cat Gamer here with another episode in Gavatia's Adventures Through Eorzea. We are in the Shadowbringers expansion. We finished Alizae's, trying to say her name and Alphinaud at the same time. Sometimes gets mixed up. Anyway, we're going to do Alphinaud's arc today. We just finished Alizae's last week. That was, wow, that had some heartbreaking moments, man. A lot of fun moments too. Alright, as y'all know, I'm not shy about crying on screen, right? So it's okay. We are at a still tied in our MSQ. Kind of ran around on Samurai last time because I'm leveling him right now. I got Bard and Reaper up to max. What else? I think I could Dragoon too. Oh yeah, Dragoon and Viper. Alright, not bad. If I get another quest available, I think I've done all the Stormblood ones that I can on this one. I won't have access to the Shadowbringer job quest quite yet. Oh, I also have some turn-ins. Oh my goodness. Let's do that real quick. Primal Focus. I've summoned another Primal Summoning Ritual Tools. Okay. Let's go back to Mordona. We have to go back there to turn in the final quest that we did for Unukulai for the Warring Triad. I finally finished the last one this week. Those three are popping like hotcakes right now because they're on the Mogpendium. The Moogle Treasure Trove Hunt for Allegory. Oh, I don't have I don't have access to him here. Okay. Well, let's see. I think I gotta turn this in on Dragoon. By the way, I did more of the objectives. I'm not burning through the relic quest stuff. I just do them as I feel like doing them. Which means it'll probably take me, 900 years to finish them off. Alright, Lorena says we've been inundated with orders for more of those primal summoning tools. Not so fast, sir. Allow me to just... Oh, yes, the shudder down my spine confirms their authenticity. Your tokens, as promised. Rowena shall rue the day she began treating me like a lackey. I'm positioned now to woo her most affluent patrons, and the 12 take me if I don't steal them all away the day I open my very own store. A note of promise received from Rowena for the delivery of Beastman ritual tools can be redeemed for a superior weapon of your choice. I will take a look at that later. Oh, hey, how are you? Botrix has joined my channel. Somebody recommended having Botrix on there as a tool to moderate inappropriate chat. Please don't test it. Okay. Enter the solar. Nuclei says, with your victory over Zervan, the warring triad is finally defeated. I am afraid, however, that mine own efforts have often been more hindrance than help, and you and your fellow scions deserve to hear the reasons behind my actions. I promise to tell you of my journey, of who I am, of where I came from. The truth is, I'm not of this world. I was born on a different star, a child whose power of the echo was too feeble to save his dying world. A child who, unlike you, never became a warrior of light. When all I knew stood on the brink of destruction, I was yet half-grown. Had I been born but a handful of years earlier, history may have written a different tale. The seeds of other heroes that had yet to fully sprout may not have withered and perished. Oh, that's sad. The star I failed to save is known to you now as the Void. Oh, wow. That's an interesting bit of lore. Though Gav knew not that I spoke of my homeland, I have explained to him before the cause of its ruin. A magic was devised to contain a defeated primal's might within a stone known as Orosite. And the energies which bled from this imperfect vessel gradually corrupted the champions who wielded it. These heroes became slaves to an insatiable hunger for ether, eventually transforming into hideous fiends. And none who clung to the faint traces of light were strong enough to oppose them. The demons next turned upon each other in a war which drained the land's ether in ever greater amounts, until one day the star was suddenly swallowed in a flood of darkness, an entire world unmade in an instant. The void scent you encounter here in this realm are the twisted remnants of once mortal beings who gnaw on what motes of life force remain. And as I lay dying, beaten and broken in my failed last stand, 'twas a white-robed Ascian who found my tormented spirit and bore me away to the rift betwixt worlds. Elidibus has been my master ever since. At my mentor's feet did I learn of the nature of reality, of the existence of mirrored worlds, and the eternal struggle between dark and light. Sudden and overwhelming superiority for either side will shatter the balance, and the world in question will be returned to the void by a calamity beyond imagining. As the self-appointed custodian of this balance, my master warned me that the source, the first of all worlds, slips perilously close to oblivion. Urianger says, in what spirit did this master proffer such a warning? A benevolent gesture or veiled threat? So he's asking, how did this master give this warning? As, a kind gesture or as a threat, To these questions and more do I mean to coax forth answers. Yet no matter his intention, that Hydaelyn doth teeter on a knife's edge is an undeniable truth. Knowing this, what choice was given you to make? So, okay. I want to know the answers to these questions, but no matter what Elidibus's intention was, Hydaelyn does, she's on the very edge. Okay? And that's undeniable. Knowing this, what choices were you given? I chose to join my master and act as his instrument on this star. The tragedy that befell my home cannot be repeated. I will see this world saved. and yet I hesitated at the most crucial of moments. What right have I to stand alongside a true warrior of light? Urianger says, "In thine own words, thou wert called before thy time, and I offer that thou dwellest overmuch on the question of what maketh the hero. The search for the answer leaveth thee paralyzed by doubt." Okay, you're kind of, it's by, paralysis of analysis kind of thing. Okay, yeah, it says, you were, you died before your time, and so I might suggest that you dwell too much on what makes a hero, and the search for that answer leaves you paralyzed by doubt. Heed me, Master Unukulai. Thou needest not believe thyself a hero to perform great deeds. 'Tis the deed itself which earneth thee the hero's mantle. So he's saying, okay, Unukulai. Okay, Unukulai, you don't need to believe yourself a hero to do heroic things, okay? It's the heroic deed itself which makes you the hero or earns you that title. Y'shtola says, "Aye, the ideals you hold can be less important than having the faith to act upon them. Regula's loyalty to the Emperor guided his actions until the last, and though we did not see eye to eye on many things, his final deeds can be called naught less than heroic." Kryle says, "Personally, I find that faith in my companions allows me to act unhindered by uncertainty." I know that should I ever falter, Gav and the others will be there to support me, or steer me back onto the right path if needed. Aw, he gives us a little smile of appreciation. Unukulai says, "I see. In the days leading up to my world's destruction, I was entirely alone. I never knew what it was to have such comrades." Kryle says, I cannot imagine the loneliness you must have felt, but look around you now, Unukulai. You're not alone anymore, she winks. And we all nod at him. Y'shtola says, "Welcome to the Scions of the Seventh Dawn." I wonder if they're going to pick up his story in a future expansion, because they really haven't done anything with him since, as far as I know. Unukulai says, I will fill my promise to save this world, and when I stumble, I shall be glad to have your hands there to steady me. My apologies. This is difficult for me. For so long have I spoken from behind a mask. Urianger says, "We should all feel comfortable speaking without such concealments." Y'shtola says, "I should hope you appreciate the irony of that statement, Urianger." He wears his goggles and hood over his head. And Kryle laughs. I don't want to look at that. I don't want to look at that. She might be right. I don't want to face that. All right. Oh, we got more for us. Okay. Unukulai has something of interest for you. Whilst we were examining the controls for Zurvan's shackles, I found a tombstone. I keep wanting to say tombstone, it's not. Whilst we were examining the controls for Zurvan's shackles, I found a tombstone, which may be of interest to you, Gav. Would you like to take a look? Yeah, sure. The information contained within this device appears to have been used to generate a simulated battle of grueling difficulty. Challengers would be pit against a simulacrum of Zurvan, the power of which had been enhanced to the icon's highest conceivable magnitude. It is described as the final trial for the most elite of Alag's warriors, intended to distinguish the truly exceptional among them. I have witnessed no champion more exceptional than the Warrior of Light. Are you not curious to see just how powerful Zurvan may have been? I urge you to visit the verification node and undertake this ultimate test of the Allagan elite. Alright, I gotta go flying up there again. Have anything else done? Go turn in the nut quest in the Crystarium. Oh, you know what? I got some new mounts the other day from the Mog thing. Wanted to see if we could try those out. Flying chair. God, I got that one. Do I remember which one? Iron Frog Mover. Let's check that one out. Oh my god! I'm sitting on top of an iron frog. It makes the most hilarious sound, too. The music's not bad. It's one of the major mount themes. A lot of mounts have this theme. Alright. Just looks so silly. Alright. Activating verification systems. Elimination trial request acknowledged. Awaiting tombstone data. Alright. Though it appears to be not more than a simple stone, Uniculi insists it contains reams of invaluable information gathered by the lost Allagan Empire on the subject of the demon Zurvan. Data processed. Adversary. Warring Triad. Zurvan. Threat level. Extreme. This is the final qualifying test for surviving elite squad enlistees. Participation is only permitted to trials who agreed to unrestricted biopsy procedures following the trial. Thanks, you want to experiment on me when I'm done. Specifically, enlistees who successfully complete the program will be certified as genetically superior and must submit to cell harvesting for subsequent cloning initiatives. I don't think so. Elimination trial survival rates are currently calculated at 1.9%. Cam's going, no way! Activating reality augmentation. Initiating elimination trial. The Empire thanks you for your service. Post-mortem data will be used to improve the survival rates of subsequent candidates. Your sacrifice is appreciated. Thanks. Thanks, man. Alright, this unlocked the extreme trials. Okay. to Crystarium. Got a green quest to turn in here, so let's go on down to the rookery. Put our food buff on. So you wish to hunt 3 nut marks, do you? I thought as much when I saw you approach. Also, Haldor has been clamoring day and night for you to be granted permission, so there was that too. Whenever the subject of you and your exploits comes up, he is filled with fiery passion. It is as though he lives vicariously through your tales. In any event, if you desire greater challenges, then you may have them. Do be mindful of the increased risks in pursuing these marks. You are of no use to us dead or horribly maimed. Thanks. Thanks much. Alright, we can take 3 nut bills. Oh, let's see if he'll let us take this one. Or if we have to be level 78. Haldor believes you are ready to take an important step. There he is, the star hunter of Clan Nutsy himself. Bagged yourself a goodly number of 3 nut marks, have we? No, well, not yet, but we will. It's not enough, is it? Don't deny it. Nay, you need to experience it all. The terrifying lows, the dizzying highs, the creamy middles. This is so wrong. And they need it too, if not more. Why else would these Yulmoran bastards offer bigger and bigger bounties? They're waiting for you to slip up just once, to give them a spectacular death. But you won't go quietly. Oh no, you'll bleed them for every last gil and then some. And soon you'll have the chance to do so on an entirely different scale. Now, you ask? Or how you ask? By slaying elite marks, that's how. They're like nothing you've ever faced before. Wild and unpredictable, possessed of surpassing strength and guile. Many are the men who have left to slay such fiends, never to return. But their failures will only serve to season the dish that is your victory. The greater the risk, the greater the reward. Extrinsic and intrinsic, no? Which is why you must speak with Zyle without further delay. Alright, well he can't do that until level 80. So we'll come back to complete that then. I don't want to pick up the 2 or 3 or elite marks yet because they're in areas I can't even reach. Alright, back to... Still tied. We got places we don't even know about yet. Been to Mordsuk. Haven't been to this area yet. Haven't been to this area yet. You can see it on the map. Haven't been to this area yet. Won't be able to get to Tomra until later in the expansion. Just because I don't want to deal with aggroing. Oh, there he is. Okay. Ivor. after? Fish? Crab? Think I've got an eel in a barrel somewhere if you've a taste for him. Blah. Lake thyme, a fragrant herb commonly found growing along the floodplains of the Source. Oh, I do love a bit of thyme. Chuck some in a pan and it's like a bloody festival of flavor. And thyme is a great herb, by the way. And if you've never tried lemon thyme, that's fantastic too. Now, like if you like chicken, lemon thyme is great on chicken. Now, what is it I can do for you? Can't say as there's been any major upsets to report these past few weeks. Alphinaud, eh? I know the one, our young champion of the downtrodden. Eulmore's richer than all of Norvrant put together, but it's a different story to them as live outside the city. Most spend every waking moment just trying to stay alive, which makes your friend's dedication to helping others stand out all the more. I can hazard a guess as to where he is now, get a message to him. But you'll need somewhere quiet to meet, away from prying eyes. Make for Stilltide, that's the fishing village just up the path from here. You're looking for a rundown excuse for a tavern the locals call the Leaky Keel. The keel's a part of a boat. It's a leaky boat. Wait there and you'll see that I'll see that Alphinaud joins you. I imagine as soon as Alphinaud learns the Warrior of Light is here, he will come running. Well, why don't we just fly back there? I mean, we're back there. And hello everybody joining. Welcome aboard. That helps if I drive the right spot. Oh. Theva. Yes, dear, buy a drink or out you go. The seats are for paying customers. Oh, this person doesn't have anything to say. Okay. I'm just kind of looking around. Theva says, "This your first time in a tavern? It's customary to buy a drink if you mean to loiter. What'll you be having?" Ale, mead, or water? Mead. I can see Gav being a mead kind of guy. A fine choice, and what'll you be paying with? Well now, those are exotic. Where did you come by coins like that? I'm sorry, dear, I don't doubt they have value, but I don't have a touchstone to test their purity, and I'm not about to go begging for one from the neighbors, so we'll just have to come to some other arrangement. Here's an idea. There's a common to the north where we grow our vegetables, but lately the pests have been eating more of them than we have. What do you say to a bit of extermination work? I want you to squash any vermin you find and visit the caretaker and give him an earful from me for sleeping on the job. He'll be in the old silo next to the fence, snoring like as not. Do that for me and you can laze around here as long as you like. Okay, gonna go kill stuff. Can't go in there. Search the field for vermin to exterminate. As I run through the grapevines. Oh wow, that's some nice detail, man. Barred door. No response. Maybe you need to knock louder. No response. Perhaps the occupant is hard of hearing. You hear a faint squeaking from the room beyond. Time to burst in and save the day, brave adventurer! No one is home, and judging by the lack of furniture, they haven't been for some time. The gnawed scraps of vegetables on the floor suggest rats have taken up residence in their absence. Okay, speak with Theva. Welcome back, dear. What did that good-for-nothing caretaker have to say for himself? Gone? Must have left to join the rest of the hopefuls. In Gatetown, outside Yulmore? You don't have a clue what I'm talking about, do you? And there I was thinking you were another dreamer. Well, never mind all that. Take a seat wherever you like, dear. You've more than earned it. I'll even throw in another drink on the house. More like payment for what I just did. I'll have some of that green.
And how is business today, Mistress Theva?
Oh, Theva, not Theva.
Oh, frenetic. Look, I have a new customer.
Tis good to see you, my friend. The barley seeds you wanted. They should produce a better harvest than the last.
What, just like that? Oh, Alphinaud, you really are a dear. Well, I'd best be tidying up some of those empty shacks before the pests move in. Keep an eye on the place while I'm out, eh?
It seems an age since last we spoke. Not since the prisoner exchange in Doma. And Yotsu. It has been even longer for me, of course, if you count the days I've spent here. But the time has only added to the relief I feel seeing you safe and well.
Me? I was more worried about you, or we thought we'd lost you. That one. Second one.
Huh. Alize said much the same thing. I don't think I've ever had such a scolding. But I believe an exchange of news is in order. Come, tell me of your arrival and all that came before.
Have we got some news for you, Alphinaud?
I see. Both the Exarch and Alize told me what they knew of events, but I had stubbornly clung on to the hope that all-out war might yet be avoidable. And poor Tataru. She must be sick with worry. We must endeavor to return as soon as we may. It would be nice to bring her good tidings for a change. But before we bid this world farewell, we must first ensure that it is not rejoined to the source. We must prevent the 8th Umbral calamity.
Calamities are bad.
Urianger's vision of the future has, I fear, every chance of coming true. By his description, the catalyst for the calamity was a formless and deadly weapon employed by the Garlean Empire. Which can only mean one thing. Black Rose. Gaius was telling you the truth. When we were on the trail of the Ascians, we saw evidence that the gas was being manufactured once more. Gaius was adamant that the project had been scrapped. But so long as there are wars to be waged, there will always be those determined to win by any means. And thus simply destroying the existing stores of Black Rose would do little to alter fate's course. In that sense, our involuntary journey here to the First was something of a boon. Together with the Exarch, we've developed a theory as to how we believe the rejoining will be set in motion. I'm sure Urianger himself will cover the subject in more detail. But I can tell you the process requires that both worlds, the Source and the First, be facing an existential threat.
Do we experience any other kind in Final Fantasy? No. We're always facing existential threats.
One being Sin Eaters, of course. They are a menace that I would dearly love to remove, and not just to avert a calamity. I may be a stranger to this world, but I will not stand idly by and let innocent people be slaughtered. That is what brought me to the gates of Yulmore. Ignoring its pretensions as a kind of capital city to what remains of the world, it is nonetheless a center of power and authority. If any solutions are to be found, I believe our search should begin there. What say you, old friend? Hungry for another adventure?
Of course we are. Of course he is, yep.
And so we take to the road once more.
All right. Met up with Alphinaud. Alphinaud is ready to take to the road once more for open arms, closed gate. Assuming you have no objections, let us make our way directly to the city outskirts. If we time our arrival just right, you may be lucky enough to see why I have yet to set foot in Yulmore, despite my best efforts to do so. Come, from here we must head west and then cross a small bridge. Okay. We're going to head over to Yulmore. Say head over the bridge? I can't remember. Probably. Oh, yeah, okay, we gotta go to the quest marker. That is a very colorful iguana, man. It's like that purple almost glows. That's kind of cool. Indigo? It's more indigo than purple. Kalusia seems peaceful, does it not? Almost familiar. I had a similar impression of the Crystarium, even in this distant world. People are much the same. To think that whenever a calamity struck the source, a reflection such as this one, with all its culture and history, was being erased from existence. No. Get away from me, screaming woman. Over there! Quickly, someone's in trouble. Well, you know us. Trouble's our middle name, man. Oh, I think I see a Sin Eater up there. Yep, looks like it. Manic Madam. Oh, thank the fates. Look out! We are aiding her. My poor heart. Thank you, good young sir. Ah, there you are. In my haste, I lost my bearings, but I see you have the situation well in hand. Fine work. Thanks for showing up, Alphinaud. Thanks. Are you all right, madam? Just a few bruises from where I fell. Nothing compared to what was in store for me before this brave soul came to my rescue. I honestly thought I was done for. My feet are not as swift as they once were, and I knew there was no one left to hear me scream. Not that I let that stop me. Oh, I should probably leave my old house behind and queue up outside Eulmore with the rest of them. Doubt those fancy lords and ladies would welcome an old crone like me. Still, even a shack near the gate has to be safer than staying here. Alphinaud said, one would hope. Either way, I suggest you avoid wandering alone, lest you make the Sin Eater's task any easier. Thank you again, you saved my life. Now I'm sure a strapping lad like you has little to fear, but I wouldn't linger long in this place. There's naught to be had here but cobwebs and memories. Alphinaud says, "'Tis as the lady says. Many in these parts have abandoned their homes to live in Eulmore's shadow. Should the Sin Eaters descend upon this region, there are precious few with the strength to fight them off. Speaking of which, what have you been told of these monsters?" Well, we killed a few. Ah, yes, Alizé would be well qualified to speak on the subject. Compared with Almarang, Kalusia is almost a haven, but as you saw, we cannot let our guard down. Had you arrived but a few moments later, the Sin Eaters would have claimed another victim. Still, we have won a small victory this time at least. Now, shall we press on? We need to return to where the road forks and follow the path that leads west. Okay, kinda cool. Bird is called a what? Tragopan? Okay. A Germinant. Okay. Here is our destination. And here we are.
That gate up ahead is known as the Open Arms, and Eulmore itself lies beyond. This, meanwhile, is the aptly named Gate Town. The dwelling place of the many desperate souls who hope to be chosen to live in the city proper.
Ah, I thought I recognized you. Brought a new friend, eh? I'll bet you got a trick or two up your sleeve. Maybe even 3. Care to show me?
No. What?
He's not here to compete. Leave him be.
What? I was only making conversation.
Sure you were. Alphinaud's going,
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please! Greetings to our hopeful petitioners, one and all! Yulmore extends its warmest regards. Let it be known that a lady of distinction wishes to dine on fish divine. We seek a master culinarian who can guarantee seafood perfection. Dazzle the matron with your delicious dishes, and life in the city will be yours to enjoy, even on days when fish is not on the menu. Who among you will answer the call? Name yourself or another. We might not at all.
Fish, is it? Was there anyone?
What about that girl?
Do you recall how I said Yulmore was a center of power and authority? Well, that is not the only reason for its fame. It is also known as the City of Final Pleasures. The noble and the wealthy who survived the flood gathered here to live out the rest of their days in decadent abandon. A poor man could sooner pass through the Iron Needle than Yulmore's gates. The only way the common folk can enter this perverted paradise is if they fulfill the whim of one of the privileged. And so they are picked over like market produce.
What a catch! We'll not be throwing this one back. Having seen your all too obvious charms, we welcome you with open arms. Come, join us in the city of splendor and live out your life in an ecstasy of endeavor. Oh, just look at those expectant faces. What could you possibly be waiting for? Well, what have we here? An extra share of meal to celebrate our newest resident! For you!
Ah, hello!
Enjoy!
Thank goodness.
Over here!
Meal is a foodstuff which Yulmore routinely doles out to the people of Gatetown, and apparently a staple for its citizens as well. Many here rely on it to survive in these times of scarcity, yet the whole arrangement just seems... well, let's just say it leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
I wonder what that look is all about. It's like, oh, we'll be here for you next. Now you understand why my attempts to enter the city have thus far come to naught. The dubious privilege of residency must be won via a contest with ever-changing rules. They say this policy has been in place for the past 2 decades, ever since Yulmore's current ruler came into power. Yet, from what I have seen, it does more harm than good. Not only does it distract people from our shared struggle against the Sin Eaters, it robs them of their self-sufficiency. I've tried to propose ways they could improve their lot, but my words invariably fall on deaf ears. The attitude is so entrenched now, I worry that... well, mayhap you should take a turn around Gate Town and judge the situation for yourself. Okay, let's check out this area. Begrimed bloke. Guy we talked to earlier. Still here, are you? Can't blame you for wanting a slice of Yulmore's pie. If you ask me, you should ditch that sour-faced brat and make a home for yourself here. Gate Town's not much to look at, but at least it's safe, and the meal is the best thing I've ever tasted. Bubbling cookpot. Large pot bubbles over the flame. Pale chunks, meal, you realize, float in the otherwise plain broth. Ooh. Alright, I fail at jumping. This should not be hard. Oh my god! I keep jumping over the top of it. Wonder if I can do it from here. Nope. I did it! I did it finally. I fail at jumping. I am terrible at platforming. Terrible. Gate Town is a haphazard mess of shacks and lean-tos, the result of refugees throwing up shelters as they await their chance to embrace the comforts of Yulmore. Though living conditions can best be described as abysmal, the regular distribution of meal and the minimal risk of Sin Eater attacks has only seen the population increase over time. Alright. Preoccupied petticoat. Just look at it. Can you imagine a more beautiful city? Every day I dream of the life that awaits for me inside those walls. Oh, will they ever pick me? It does look pretty cool there. Colorful to say the least. Alright, let's go back to Alphinaud. Alphinaud says, "You've seen what Gate Town has to offer. These people can no longer fend for themselves. They become dependent on handouts of meal and believe Eulmore is the answer to all their woes. Yet, no matter how I frame my encouragement, they seem unwilling, nay, unable, to conceive of any other way of life." I don't know, if I... choice of what sounds like paradise, or work your ass off and maybe get hit by... work your butt off, and maybe get eaten by a sin eater. I mean, is that much of a choice, right? Can't blame him for wanting that. Alphinaud wears a look of profound disapproval. Yes, he does, man. He's such a pouty little teen when he gets that look on his face. You can say you disapprove of these people's way of life, or you disapprove of Eulmore. I think he's... How about that one? Disapprove? It frustrates me, certainly. That is only part of it, though. The whole situation makes me uneasy. Not that it matters, however unjust this system seems to me. If these people claim to be content with their lot, it is hardly my place to criticize their choices. But take that elderly lady you rescued. Does it not seem that those who had chosen to forego Eulmore's largesse are doomed to suffer for their independence? In the end, they are all but forced to seek refuge in Gate Town, and so hamlets and fields across the island are left empty and untended, hastening the region's descent into ruin. I don't know what's going on outside. Oh, somebody's mowing. Okay. Sorry for the background noise. One of these things that happens when you live stream, right? Nay, I am not convinced that Eulmore's generosity truly serves the best interests of Kalusia's people. I am not so naive. Yes, you are, Alphinaud. Yes, you are. I am not so naive as to think there is some miraculous solution to all of this. Yet I cannot help but frown at the sight of hard-working villagers struggling to survive, even as the chosen few rejoice at being plucked from poverty by the hand of a capricious noble. There has to be a better way. I will not know for sure, however, until I have taken those long-delayed steps through Eulmore's gates. 'Tis fortunate that you arrived when you did, Gav. I have been working on a scheme to insinuate myself into the city, and if all goes to plan, it should soon come to fruition. There is a beast tribe who makes its home in the seas surrounding the island. The Ando, they are called, though you and I know them as Sahagin. For the most part, they keep to themselves in their ocean grottos and rarely have dealings with land dwellers. But as Tataru took such great pains to impress upon me during our stay in Kugane, business favors the bold, and so I reached out to them. I duly discovered that the Ando are inordinately fond of land-grown produce, fresh fruits in particular, and when I offered to procure such goods for them, they promised to pay me in pearls. An attractive business venture for any prospective investor, would you not agree? Surely even the most jaded Eulmoran lord would have time for a merchant who can make pearls from plums and pumpkins. Gif's going, what? What? Wait, Alphinaud, you learned how to do business. What happened? Gif's looks priceless. Yes, I've come a long way since my days of buying samurai swords without first negotiating a price. And Gav's going, yeah? My appointment with the Ando is due to take place in a few hours. I just need to collect the produce and meet with them on the shore. Might you help me with this? Excuse me. Might you help me with the exchange? Yep. Excellent. I should be glad of your company. First things first, then, we must pay a visit to Moshamoa, my supplier in right. Come, it is just to the northwest of here. Good God, what's going on? I think they're cutting down a tree next door is what I think they're doing. Hang on, I'm going to stop recording to see how bad the sound is, and I may have to stop the stream. Bear with me for a moment. Okay. Apparently my microphone, which is a Yeti Blue, my microphone has been good enough to not pick up the god-awful sound next door. So we can continue, because I didn't want to get a bad recording, because I really want to have this stream, you know, be nice and not sound like garbage when I post it. All right. Sorry for the delay, folks. If it does get too loud, let me know in chat, okay? Oh my, that might have been it. It sounds so loud to me, but when I listen to it on stream, you can't really hear it. But anyway, so we're heading back to... Wait a minute. I could have just drove over there. I mean, ported over there. Alright. Alphinaud says, "This is Moshe Moa, the farmer of whom I spoke." "Is there something I can do for you, friend?" Alphinaud says, "Good day to you, Moshe Moa. This is my associate, Gav. We are here to collect the produce I purchased." "Huh? I loaded your lackey up with the goods not long ago." "My lackey? I know of no such person. Mistel lad? Short blue hair? No? He said he'd come on your behalf. And since he seemed to know all the details, I just assumed. Confound it, someone must have been eavesdropping on our conversation. If the charlatan was here not long ago. He cannot have gone far. Oh my god. Just looking at what my Torajiro just did there for a moment. We should split up and search the area. You find a vantage point on the south side of town, and I shall take the west. It's like my little kit mini pet, which I got from the Moogle event. It's like chasing something. Oh, there it is. It's pouncing. Oh my god, that is so cute. Alright, peeps. I need to go use the restroom and get my dog inside because she's barking at the people outside. So I will be back in just a moment. Give me about 5 minutes. Hey, hey, we are back. Just want to check stream quality real quick before we get moving. Fickle Existence is our current quest. We have to go south. Somebody imported in too. Alright. Alright, looks good. I'm notorious for leaving my mic muted, so if you see that, let me know in chat. I don't always pick up the chat quickly because it's on my phone. And it's kind of out of my line of sight. I don't have all my side vision. It's a freaky little funky thing in my family. And there is a certain irony to somebody working in the medical field having medical problems. But it happens to all of us if we live long enough, right? Search the surroundings for a male mistel, basically a makote, with short blue hair. You may move the camera as well as zoom in and out. Target a likely suspect and inspect him with the mouse button. Aha! I think this is our culprit. You've located your quarry. Give, any sign of him? He's over there. Go west, young man. Alphinaud says, you've a keen eye. Of course, I'm a cat. What do you expect? We got great vision. Let us move in before he makes good his escape. Trying to avoid enemies here.
There you are. The thief who claims the harvest on my behalf. Hand it over.
Well, forgive me. I have to get into the city. I have no family and all my friends have already been chosen. No one here gives a damn about me. When the meal gets handed out, I'm lucky if I get a smell of it. No matter what I do, they won't call out my name. I'm so tired, I'm so bloody hungry. I thought maybe I could steal your idea. Get in that way.
What is your name?
Kai Shear.
Tell me then, Kai Shear. Must it be Yulmore or nothing? What of the Crystarium? They may not offer charity, but you would be fairly compensated for any work you did.
No, it has to be Yulmore. That's where all my friends are. We made a promise that we'd live together in paradise.
I was to make my deal with the Ondo at the Clave. Listen carefully, and I shall tell you my plans for the business, and how best to arouse the Ulmoran's interest.
Why are we rewarding theft? It's a very interesting response. Okay. I don't agree with... I agree with Alphinaud's heart. I don't agree with his method on this. Because, you know, my heart says to help Kaishir, but... it's not the way you should go about doing it.
Give me your place. Just like that.
I'm giving you a chance, nothing more. What comes of it is entirely up to you.
I understand. Oh, thank you, thank you.
I'm sure we'll see him more often.
This was but one path. There will be others. But for young Kaishir, it was the difference between life and death. I do not regret my decision, yet I will admit that a part of me wonders if it was for the best. We strive to bring swift salvation to this world, that countless lives might be saved, not least your own. Even if it came at the cost of one man, should I have forged on regardless?
See, quite possibly meaning we'd better hurry up and think of a new plan. It's not who you are.
Indeed. We will find another way. I promise you. Shall we return to Right then? Is that? I can't be sure, but I think someone's in trouble. Come on, they may need our help.
Oh, yep, probably do. Try and go around these enemies. All right. Big claw. Ah, we have an ether current here. I should be checking that more often. $842 yums to the northeast. I think that's up in there, up above this cliff, and we can't reach that until we get access to that area. All right, We have weakened wretch. Alphinaud. Let's see what Alphinaud says. Here, he's breathing, I think, though he won't last long without help. Well, let's give him some aid. That should take care of the worst of his injuries. Cough, player. Mercy! Mercy, I beg you! Breathe easy, sir. No harm will come to you here. The poor man is shivering. Pray, keep an eye on him while I get a fire going. Oh, Alphinaud! Your the fire starting skills are legendary. I thought for certain I was dead. How am I ever to repay this kindness? Alphinaud says, we'll settle for the tale behind your current predicament. Why don't you begin by telling us your name? Tristal. I was invited into Yulmore to work as an artist. A wealthy couple took me in to paint pictures for them, but when my style proved contrary to their taste, they just as quickly turfed me out onto the street. I was left penniless and patronless, a grave sin in Lord Vothry's city. Within days they had brought me before the man himself, and he asked me what I meant to do. Dejected as I was, I told him that I wished to leave. Little did I know how soon he would grant me my wish. They flung me over the balustrade into the goddamned ocean. From up there? How were you not dashed to pieces? Don't ask me. Luck, I suppose, though if you hadn't found me when you did, I wouldn't have counted for much. Monstrous, and the citizens condone such barbaric punishment? Oh, without a second thought. When Lord Vothry passes judgment, no one so much as blinks, let alone argues. In Yulmore, his word is law. Okay. That sounds a little chaotic evil. Ah, that fire has chased the chill from my bones. Thank you again. The more I hear about Yulmore, the more determined I am to see what waits within its walls. I shall bend all my thoughts towards securing another way into the city. There must be something we can do, but first we should convey Tristal to the shelter of the village. Fire or no fire, he needs to be out of this chilly coastal air. A way into the city. Alright, let's go up to right. Alphinaud says, I wonder what Tristal will do now. Pray, accept my deepest gratitude. I owe you both my life. And, if you'll permit me, I would assist you in your attempt to enter Yulmore, insofar as I am able, at any rate. To be frank, the thought of sending my saviors into that awful place makes me sick to my stomach. But since it's plain you've set your minds on it, you should take this. It's my favorite paintbrush. The Yulmoran elite are never satisfied until they get exactly what they want, and if I'm not mistaken, the couple I mentioned will be looking for someone to replace me. If you make a show of owning such a well-used brush, you may be able to convince people you have a talent for painting. Alphinaud says, Are you certain? This is your livelihood. We cannot deprive you of such a treasured possession. I give it gladly after all you've done for me. Besides, I can't... I don't think I have the heart to paint anymore. As to what I'll do instead, I honestly haven't decided, but I shan't stay long in this place, not with that city brooding over me. Nay, I'll move on to new lands and a new profession, and I'll keep you in my prayers from now until my dying day. Tristel has some more. Should you make it into the city, have care with what you say and do. I wouldn't want you to save my family. I wouldn't want you to save my life, only to lose your own. We have a few more ether quests here, I think. Alphinaud weighs the brush you received from Tristel, deep in thought. They say kindness is its own reward, but Tristel has repaid us with a gift as timely as it is unexpected. We will, however, need to act upon his advice before another painter steps in to fill the vacancy. Thankfully, I do have some modest skill with a brush. Nothing approaching that of a true artist, of course, but enough to play the role, I should hope. As for you, well, if you don't mind taking a subordinate role, mayhap you could pose as my assistant. Sure, why not? Then it is settled. All we need to do now is return to Gate Town and await the next appearance of those vile jesters. And you know me, I always want to do these ether quests as soon as they pop up, because I want my flying as soon as I can have it. Noise watches the path to the shipyard with anxious eyes. Oh, who are you? Forgive me, it's not often we see travelers in right. What with how dangerous it is hereabouts. I even worry for my husband taking the road down to the shipyard, and he's as strong as a Talos. He has been gone a good while, though. If you're headed that way, could you please let him know his wife is expecting him at home? Yes, I will do so. And I'm sure he's in danger. We shall save him. Euless. She appears to be awaiting your arrival. Excuse me, but you're the gentleman Alphinaud was traveling with, aren't you? I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch your name. Oh, Gavtia. Ah, Gav, how lovely to meet you. My name is Euless, and I'm the acting village mayor. I was hoping someone of your talents would pass through right before long. The thing is, I need to visit someone up at Stonegazer, but I'm afraid to walk the path alone. Do you think you could provide an escort? Yep. My thanks. I just couldn't bring myself to ask one of the villagers. You see, there was an incident a while back where a veteran band of hunters was badly mauled. Oh, now you tell me after I've agreed. Oh, by the way, you might get mauled on the way there. Simply mentioning that it's unsafe to wander outside the village these days would be enough to bring back memories of that grisly scene, which is why it's been so difficult to even bring up the subject. But such does not change the fact that the roads are indeed dangerous. Pray, meet me on the path to the north and be prepared to fend off the wildlife. Let's go. Danger's my middle name. See, we got a giant chicken attacking her. Oop. Gotta get my chicken out. All right. Okay, we are aiding her. What did I tell you? I was barely 10 steps out the village. Come, let us hurry along before more predators give a chance to gather. Or have a chance to gather. Okay. Yep. Let's keep moving. Luke. Should have talked to him first. Thank you for the escort, Gav. This is the gentleman I wish to speak with, so we needn't go any further. Sigh, Luke. Are you wandering around by yourself out here? You know what kind of creatures lurk beyond the borders of the village. Ah, well, if it isn't Clifftall's little girl, something I can do for you, lass. Yes, sir, I came for an answer to my proposal from the other day. Have you given any thought to taking over as village mayor? I'm doing the best I can in the interim, but I have neither the age nor the wisdom to continue in the role. And the rest of the villagers agree with me. Oh, good. It's a vote of confidence. I'm fairly sure I told you nay once already. Seeing as you've found a guard just so you could come and talk to me, then mayhap I will consider the idea in exchange for a few small tasks. You will? Please, just tell me what I need to do. My friend, Clifftall, your dear father, was looking for a sickle to cut some rope. Would you mind skipping back to the village and borrowing one for me? Why would you... I mean, a sickle, was it? For cutting rope. That shouldn't be too difficult. I had only meant to ask you along for the one trip, but if I'm to complete these tasks, would you be willing to indulge me a little longer? Okay, she knows something we don't. Sigh. I like going faster. Vibrant villager. Something I can do for you, dear. My chocobo's trying to heal me still. Good day to you, young Ulysses. You look a little flustered, dear. Was there something I could help you with? Ulysses, and a good day to you, madam. I was actually hoping to borrow a sickle. Is that all? Here, you can take this one. I have several spares, so there's no rush in returning it. Doing a spot of harvesting, are you? Why, thanks, but it's not for me, exactly. I was asked to bring one for my father. Your father? Shadow, save me! Okay. Forgive me if you're to accompany me in these tasks, then you deserve to know the whole story. It was my father, Clifftall, who was the former mayor of Wright. And the incident I spoke of earlier was something that happened a year ago. One day, a stray sin-eater came prowling around and slaughtered nearly half the village. It was a waking nightmare. Some of the villagers blamed my father. They said it was because he refused to accept the protection of Yulmore. The sheer scale of the tragedy and the accusations that followed wore away at his conscience, till finally he could bear the guilt no longer. I'm not going to say this here because it might affect the stream. He deleted himself using a rope. Luke, the old man we spoke to, was his closest friend, but considering how he worded his request, it seems he's reluctant to accept the fact of my father's death. Still, I would see this task to its end. Let us bring him his sickle, shall we? There's certain things you can't get you can't say on live stream on YouTube, or you know, you risk having the video taken down. I don't want to do that. Needless to say, it's a very sad story. Did you bring it? Yeah, okay. Luke, sir, we've brought the sickle you asked for. Oh, good, good. Old Cliffsall will be glad to see this. Oh, sir. Thank you for staying with me, Gav. This might be harder than I expected. I wonder what else she's got for us. Ulysses appears ready to accept Luke's next task. This is probably some kind of tribe quest, so it's not one of the quests we need to do for it's not one we have to do for the ether current, so I'm gonna defer to that one till later. Okay, let's I'm gonna go down to these parts here. Yeah. Hang on.